So, virtual orientation starts tomorrow. It's a Sunday night, and I just realized, during orientation, of course, in person, we always have to be dressed super nice, business, professional, suits and ties and whatnot. And I just realized that for virtual orientation, we have to be dressed up as well, which, normally I love dressing up, but when it comes to, doing it virtually, it's just like, come on, really? Probably gonna end up wearing a suit and then, no pants anyways. But I just realized that all of my suits that I had, at least my favorite ones that fit me, along with ties, along with dress shirts, they are all abroad. Basically, I left 2 huge suitcases in Poland at my old boss's place, and I have nothing here. I have no dress shirts, I have no ties, so now I have to go and buy something really quickly today just for the sake of virtual orientation. So that's where we're going. I'm going to take you guys with me. One of my favorite places that is inexpensive is Ross. I believe Ross is everywhere all over the US. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just in my state, but I'll take you guys with me and let's see if we can find something cheap quickly and that's decent looking that will pass for Zoom orientation. Okay, I know this might sound silly, but I can never find a decent sized, well-fitting dress shirt. I hate shopping for dress shirts because I just can never get the size right. No matter how many shirts I try from how many different places and different sizes, they just never fit the way I want them to fit. So, my worst nightmare is shopping for dress shirts. But we gotta do it. We might as well. Okay, I'm going to show you guys what I got. I think I ended up getting a pretty good deal. So I went to Marshall's first, actually, and I ended up getting this tie with a pocket handkerchief, and it was only $5, and I thought that was a pretty good deal. If you guys shop for ties, normally, they can go anywhere from 10 to 15 and even higher. So this is U.S. Polo Association. Pretty good, pretty decent for $5. Then I went to Ross and I ended up finding an even better deal. So I found 2 Calvin Klein solid. One of them is solid, kind of dark blue, and the other one is black with some dots on it, if you can see. And they're both $4, which is an even better deal than the $5. And then I ended up finding another one, which is this brand, Pierre Cardin. And it's blue with some flowers on it, you can see, pretty nice. And this one was only $1, so even better. And that means I have a set of 4 ties, which is better than the 0 set that I had before. And then I ended up buying 1 dress shirt, which is light blue. It was $20, which is more than I normally like to spend on dress shirts. If I had scouted out for some deals, I probably would have been able to find something better. But I like to be frugal and find things on a deal. So there you have it. That's what we're equipped with for virtual orientation week. Okay guys, here's the deal. Med school orientation starts in approximately 15 minutes. I have to log into my Zoom, but first I wanted to show you my attire for the day and the combination that I came up with. You're gonna love it, I promise. All right, are you ready? There we have it. So we have a gray suit jacket with a tie that I found yesterday, $3. This shirt I found yesterday as well, about $20. And then you're going to love my pants. I'm just wearing shorts. I am not about to wear a full-on suit for virtual orientation. Honestly, think today is going to be pretty easy. We have about 4 or 5 hours of online orientation, but it's going to be things like introductions, hello, student affairs, financial stuff, all of the things you need to get out of the way in the beginning. So nothing too interesting. I'll let you know if something interesting happens, but otherwise I'll see you guys a little bit later. Okay guys, I'm low-key kind of annoyed because they told us to dress up and I log on and it's just a pure webinar. We don't have our cameras on, so I dressed up for no reason. So I'm back to a t-shirt and it's still going. They've gone through student affairs, academic affairs, some financial aid information, and now we're almost wrapping it up until the end. And then I think we can finally put our cameras on and get to kind of virtually meet all of our classmates. So yeah, I'm kind of annoyed that they told us to wear a suit, and it's yeah, we've been sitting for 4 hours off camera.
Do they move during the weekends in the middle of a block, or should they move? How firmly do we feel that they need to be on site by August 24th as they are trying to navigate moving and organizing and, you know, et cetera, some of whom are coming from across the country.
Okay, so we just finished and we had a quick meet and greet at the end with all of our classmates, which was like around 90 people on Zoom, which was not a very good idea, so it wasn't productive. Again, maybe if we had done some breakout sessions, but it is what it is. Now I've got a headache since I've been sitting all day long, so I'm gonna like go for a walk or something and try to decompress and chill, and we start back up tomorrow for day 2 of orientation. Good morning, everyone. It is day 2 of orientation, and we're about to start in 30 minutes, and I have my schedule right here. It seems like we are doing some more overviews. First, it's going to be faculty affairs, then the Office of Diversity, then they're going to go and talk about social media and traveling during med school and I guess during COVID, and then more stuff about Blackboard and ordering your specialized stethoscope and whatnot. So it's another day of just making sure we know all the information. And as I've been, starting this, to be completely honest, I've been overwhelmed. So I'm trying to control the amount of stress that's coming out of me. And if you are also someone who is going to be starting med school now in a couple of weeks, or maybe, you're pre-med and you hope to start med school, I think my biggest advice for you as to not get overwhelmed is to not follow the bandwagon. So there's gonna be Facebook groups, there's gonna be group meet chats, there's gonna be text messages, Zoom calls, and everybody's constantly, freaking out. Oh, did I forget this? What's that? And the best thing you can do for yourself, or at least what I found for me, is to kind of just mute all of those things and not try to keep up with everyone and everything, because it'll overwhelm you. And you don't need to feel like you're behind, because you're not. It's just important for you to remember that everybody is going to work at their own pace, at their own, level of stress, at their own level of anxiety. Everybody's coming from a different undergrad institution. Maybe some people are non-traditional students. So everybody is kind of like used to a different lifestyle. So I'm trying to be aware of that and not try and get overwhelmed and try to keep up with everybody else and all of the messages and everything that's going on, because that's definitely a big source of stress that I can just eliminate. We're on a short lunch break right now, and it's like 10 minutes, so I made a quick smoothie, and that's what I'm about to have right now. But up until this point, just been, again, going through some typical information, and one thing that we went over is selectives, which is unique in the sense of you get 1 or 2 weeks where you can go and do what you want to, as long as it's medically relevant. So some things that I'm really looking forward to doing is a wilderness selective, where we can go out and, learn kind of emergency medicine if you're doing a camping trip or somewhere in the wilderness. And then there's also some medical Spanish selectives and other things like criminal selectives, where you can kind of go and follow, CSI type of stuff. Anyways, let's keep going and get through this. Good morning, everyone. It is day 3 of orientation. Today, I think information is going to be a lot more specific and detailed, so I'm excited about that. It won't be as generic as the first 2 days. And I'm also going to spend today ordering my stethoscope. I'll go into that a little bit later. But I also have a bunch of these training modules to do that we've been assigned, and I really want to get them out of the way kind of this week before we start actual classes. So I have a bunch of them assigned on not only COVID, but just, work relationships, patient safety, your safety, work violence, security at work, and all of these different things. So there's a bunch of them. I think if we add them all up, it probably adds up to over 5 hours of training modules. So that's what I'm going to spend doing after orientation is over today. So we're on a short break right now for lunch, and I wanted to tell you guys, so we've basically gone through introductions of the deans and whatnot, a brief introduction of everybody in the class. We don't have that big of a class, only 50 of us. And then the class reps have spoken, and we've gotten an overview of the operations, some enrollment kind of stuff, and we have left talking about security, parking, and then one section they're going to do on what I wish I knew when I started medical school, which I'm super excited for. But one thing that I learned is that they do hire some student workers to do technical support as well as some administrative work. So I might be interested in taking on a role like that. If you know me, I like to make money and reduce my debt, but I also don't want to overwhelm myself and take on too much, especially in the beginning when I'm getting in the groove of med school and classes. So we'll see how the next session goes, and I'll let you guys know. So we just finished a session on well-being, and there was a student panel, and they talked a lot about what they had done to transition online, what they've been doing to take care of their wellness, and kind of separating work time, but also giving yourself time in the evenings where you don't do any work. And it seems like most of the students are pretty happy, pretty balanced, although they have expressed how it can be quite lonely during COVID, being home alone, especially if you don't have any roommates. So that's been pretty good, and now we're going on to the what I wish I knew before I started medical school panel in a few minutes here. We just finished day 3 of orientation, and I have been inside staring at a computer screen for the past, I don't know, maybe like 6 hours, so I have a huge headache, and I've decided that I'm going to go to Walmart because it's kind of rainy today, so I can't really go to the park. I'm going to go to Walmart, as ridiculous as it sounds, and I'm just going to walk around and look at things. Not buy anything, maybe I'll buy something, but I just need to get outside. And I actually haven't been in a Walmart for, I don't know, maybe over a year. Since when I was abroad, there's no Walmart, so this is going to be my first time getting back into Walmart, and I just need to go for a walk and look around at things and furniture, even though I'm not buying anything right now. But it's been a long day, and our schedule is going to be super packed starting next week, but right now I'm just going to do some retail therapy without buying anything. So I lied. I decided to get a little consolation prize for getting through 3 days of virtual orientation, and this is my weakness. I decided to get some cupcakes. I love sweets. That is my biggest, like, kryptonite. So this is what I'm going to be enjoying for the rest of the week, and hopefully it'll get me through virtual orientation. Good morning, everybody. It is day 3, and we're about to start in 15 minutes. I think today we're going over student affairs, student services, diversity and inclusion, learning resources, and dual degree programs. So, yeah, got a few things going on today, but we end early. It's only going to last about 2 hours, and then we have the rest of today free, and the rest of Friday free, Saturday free, Sunday free, and then we hit the ground running. Ignore, this is my childhood room. There's some interesting things in the background. But anyways, I've spent the morning proofreading some people's activities, work and activity section for the MCAT, and trying to help some people out with editing and proofreading. And then I've also, what I need to do is check out all of my personal email as well as my student email. Now that we are transitioned onto the student email, there's so many emails coming through that I have to constantly be checking and deleting, otherwise it will fill up like crazy in one day. And I finally ended up ordering my stethoscope, which is really cool that our school allows us to do that. But there were so many options, and because I don't know much about stethoscopes yet, I just ended up picking what I was told to. So I went with the Cardiology 4, Littman, and I chose kind of the most basic one. There were a bunch of colors and options, but I went for the basic black, and I will also have my name engraved on it just for the case of not losing it. Hey guys, so we just finished day 4 of virtual orientation, and it was really cool. We got to learn more about dual degree programs today, which is interesting to me. One of the things that I might be interested in is an MBA, and they also had a JD, so a Doctor of Law or something like that, but that was interesting. And then there's some interesting selectives that they talked about, like medicine and law, mindfulness and well-being, food as medicine, and innovation in design and healthcare, which is something that I'm super interested in because I've been involved in entrepreneurship. But that's it. What I have left to do is a bunch of these online learning modules like training and safety and how to deal with COVID and all of these things. And then we already have so much of assigned pre-homework or pre-work to do for biochemistry, histology, and genetics. But that will be next week. So I will see you guys next week once we hit the ground running like crazy.